The headlines. An extraordinary day in Washington as Congress fails to elect a House Speaker in the first ballot for the first time in 100 years. In Brazil, thousands of people line the streets to say farewell to the football legend Pelé, who has been laid to rest. The European Commission says there's majority support for EU-wide travel restrictions for people arriving from China. It comes amid a surge of COVID cases there. And the American football star Damar Hamlin remains in a critical condition after suffering a cardiac arrest during a primetime National Football League game. Starting with the fact that Russia has claimed 89 servicemen were killed in the Ukrainian attack on Makivka with the unauthorized use of mobile phones, meaning Ukraine's military were able to determine the soldiers' location. The missile strike on New Year's Eve hit a building in the city where Russian forces were stationed. A man charged with the murder of 4 college students in the U.S. state of Idaho has agreed to not fight extradition to the state following his arrest in Pennsylvania. Brian Kohberger is accused of killing 3 women and 1 man in the small town of Moscow, Idaho, on the 13th of November. The PhD criminology student was arrested in Pennsylvania last Thursday. His public defender said Mr. Kohberger was confident he would be found innocent and would not fight the extradition to Idaho, which retains the death penalty. The founder of the failed cryptocurrency exchange FTX, Sam Bankman-Fried, has appeared in court in New York and pleaded not guilty to fraud charges. He's accused of stealing billions of dollars from FTX to prop up another of his businesses, the hedge fund Alameda Research. Sam Bankman-Fried was extradited from the Bahamas last month and released on bail. We'll have more on this story in Asia Business Report for viewers outside the UK in about 15 minutes' time. The UN and the US have joined international criticism of a visit by a new far-right Israeli minister to a contested holy site in Jerusalem. The compound that houses the Al-Aqsa Mosque is a site that's sacred to both Muslims, the third holiest place in Islam, and to Jews. National Security Minister Itamar Ben-Gvir was seen touring the area with heavy security. It's currently only open to Muslim worship, but the minister tweeted that Temple Mount, as it's known to Jews, was open to all. Saudi Arabia and the UAE have accused the Israeli politician of storming the site, while Jordan has summoned the Israeli ambassador in protest. The US State Department urged Israel not to change the status quo. The Saudi football club Al Nassr has laid on a lavish reception in Riyadh for their new star signing, Cristiano Ronaldo. The Portugal captain said his work in Europe was done and he hoped to break new records in Saudi Arabia. It's been reported that Ronaldo's salary could be more than $160 million a year. That's it from us.
A woman who falsely claimed she was raped and trafficked by an Asian grooming gang is found guilty of perverting the course of justice. Now let's take you back to the live pictures from Myanmar, where the country is marking 75 years of independence from Britain with a military parade. Large parts of the country have been engulfed by conflict since the army seized power almost 2 years ago. Days before this anniversary, the deposed civilian leader Aung San Suu Kyi was given another long prison sentence. Her father, Aung San, was the leader of the independence struggle in the 1940s, but was assassinated months before his dream was realised. Earlier, the leader of the ruling junta, Min Aung Hlaing, was greeted with a 21-gun salute at the Army of the Armed Might in Naypyidaw.